I've been sitting in this car way too long trying to figure out the perfect intro like usual, because you guys know me, I always like to make things a lot more dramatic than they obviously need to be. So where do we begin? I guess with, how's it going guys? My name is Nick, you're on the roads way south, and thank you so much for joining me on another video. At the start of probably the most exciting thing I have most likely done in my entire life. Just to roll it back a little bit, 2 days ago we hopped on a plane in Cape Town. We flew, I think, just over 11 hours to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam we flew to our final destination. I guess with that being said, welcome guys to Iceland. So this video is probably going to be part of a little mini series. We've done a few of them on the channel already. I call them like the epic adventures, something that's not exactly car related, but I always try to squeeze in as much as possible because that's where this channel was founded on. So yeah, I'm going to do my very best to enlighten you guys as we go along the way. At the moment, I'm just sitting in the car because it's raining. It's extremely cold outside and it's very windy, but we're going to have a lot of fun today and a lot of fun on the adventure to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this small series. Let's get going. Now I'm going to do my very best to explain to you guys where we are, what we're going to be doing throughout this trip, and trying to explain to you guys what the places are called. But obviously because everything is written in Icelandic, there's a good chance I'm going to get everything wrong. At the moment, we are in a park called Thingvellir, I think.
Thingvellir.
Which is a super awesome place. So I think how it goes is there are two continents that meet on this spot. So because there are two basically continents or tectonic plates meeting at one point, there's a lot of friction and also a lot of movement, which causes this massive tear into the landscape, as you can see behind me there. It makes for some super dramatic shots, and obviously a lot of waterfalls like we can see there. Iceland is absolutely like riddled with waterfalls. We're going to see a lot of them throughout the trip. But I think this place is super awesome. We're going to continue walking down here and I'll see what we can find. I'll be honest, one of the coolest things about Iceland, also one of the most interesting and tricky to get used to, is the sunset times. Because the island is so far north and because we're reaching the peak of summer, the sun doesn't set. This is 10 o'clock at night. I'm serious. This is basically 2 hours away from the end of the day. I really can't believe it. It's so weird. Like your body doesn't, or I should rather say mentally, you don't feel tired or feel like you're supposed to be tired because it's still light outside. The reason I'm still outside though is actually because I want to show you guys where we are staying and what our accommodation for the night looks like. This is now just the back of the home. I think this is a storage area, small little house for the kiddies to play at. And then we've got this gorgeous view of a river and an open green valley, and still some snow left on the peaks, even though it is summer, as I've said. Moving around to this side, front entrance of the house. Nothing super fancy, but I've realized now with most of the homes in Iceland, I guess because everything needs to be shipped here, so these places are probably prefabricated, they're made to be sustainable, long-lasting, but oh my goodness, do they do a good job. I think outside now it's pushing about 8 degrees Celsius. I'm freezing, I don't have my gloves on. But as soon as you move through that front door, it's like being in a hotel. This place has the nicest ambient temperature I've ever felt in my life. I know it sounds funny, but as soon as you walk in there, it's like you can kick out your boots, take off your socks, you can put on shorts if you want to. This place is so well insulated. And you guys might have noticed next to the porch here is a big massive block. That's because under this cover, we have a jacuzzi. And there's a lot of steam coming out of it as well. So I think I'm gonna take a chance here and go for a swim. I mean, how often do you get to walk out to a view like that in Iceland and climb into a jacuzzi? Now, I'm not exactly sure how many of these little home tours I'm going to be doing. There's a good chance that not all the places will be this nice. If there are though, I think I'm going to drop a link down below. So yeah, if you guys are interested in some of the places, please go check out the bio down below. And hopefully you guys can maybe do the trip one day. Who knows? Whew, okay, good morning guys and welcome to day 2 of our little Iceland adventure. It is absolutely freezing. We woke up especially early this morning to meet all of the tourists to one of the most popular attractions in Iceland. I'll get to that just now. But it is absolutely freezing. I've got gloves on, fully clothed here. It's not helping though. It's really not helping. The cold is just cutting through your clothes. I'm actually very excited to be where we are now. In the distance, you can see a massive river there and a lot of vapor, I guess, running off of it. And by the sound, I guess you guys know what that means. And yes, we have a very, very large waterfall here behind us. It is called Gullfoss. I think the biggest drop, or the total drop, is about 30 meters, and we've got about 141 odd cubic meters of water running through the waterfall per second. I have no idea how much that is. By looking at it though, it looks like a lot. So I've actually just read up about the waterfall a little bit now, obviously. And it actually seems to appear in a lot of TV shows as well. We've got the animated series, The Last Airbender. One of the waterfalls there is modeled after this one. And then the popular series Vikings. I think there's a scene where someone commits suicide by jumping into this waterfall. So, very cool. It's nice to be on some movie sets for once, eh? Now, obviously approaching the waterfall, we've got a lot of vapor and mist in the air. And then beyond that, you guys might have noticed we've got the noise. I was already shouting. And I'm not even there yet. That's a lot of water, guys. The name Gullfoss comes from either one of two places. The first of which being when the evening sun hits the spray, it makes like a golden hue. Gullfoss, I guess. I actually like the second story a little bit more. It's the story of an old man who was very rich, and he didn't like the idea of anyone else having all of his gold, so he threw it all in a chest and chucked it over the waterfall. How's that? And therefore Gullfoss. Either way, I think Gull means gold. And so moving on from the super cold environment that was Gullfoss, we're now moving to something that's a little bit more warm, might you say. This is a geyser spot, a geyser. I'm not exactly sure what the correct pronunciation is.
Geyser.
Back there you can actually see is a little bit of steam leaving the earth as water heats up inside, building up pressure and eventually exploding into a magnificent upwards down waterfall. I don't know what you call it, a geyser. That's it right there on the rock. I think the only problem is the fact that you need to wait here until the geyser erupts. How long that could be, I have no idea. I'm not even sure if there's a warning, like a little bit of a rumble. Okay, and now we wait. Goodness, that's such a fright. My arm is so sore from holding now. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, one of the questions are why can't we just climb into one of those things when it's so freezing cold outside? But I think that explains why. I mean, 100 degrees is where water boils, so that might hurt a little bit. Yeah, so and just after our little geyser, whatever you want to call it, experience, we went to a small dairy farm where I had my first cappuccino and ice cream pairing, and it was flippin' banging. It was such a nice way to get the morning started. Technically that was breakfast, I guess. Moving on from there, we have gone over to this crater. I'm going to move over just now so you guys can see the water down there. And so obviously this is formed by volcanic activity. Essentially this once was a big volcano and now it's a big hole in the ground. Interestingly enough though, you can see a lot of ripples every now and then, and I wonder if there's fish down there. But that's probably not natural. I guess someone put fish there on purpose. Okay, next stop, Seljalandsfoss. I'm not even yeah, you guys should be able to see the waterfall there. It is so wet, I'm soaked. But at least it's not as cold as it was this morning. This place is so cool. Guys, I know it's only video 1. You gotta come to Iceland though. This place will change your life. And hopefully you guys can hear by the sound in the distance we have made it to another waterfall. As you guys might have guessed by now, Iceland is chock full of waterfalls. This one, however, is probably worth the stop. That back there is called Skuggarfoss, I think. I'm probably butchering most of these words, but it is fantastic. So just for a sense of scale, you got the people at the front there, and then as we zoom back, you get an idea of how tall this waterfall really is. And obviously we walk to the top, way up there as well. I counted 466 steps, so that's definitely my cardio sorted for today. And now as a result, my knees are wobbling. I'll be honest though, thinking about the time that we've got to spend here in Iceland, 2 weeks by the way, I'm not sure if it's enough. We're on day 2 now, and I am absolutely thrashed. I think it's like 4 o'clock now, and I'm so tired from stopping at places, walking to sites like that, sites like the previous waterfalls, and so on and so forth, that I can't imagine how you can see the rest of Iceland in 2 weeks. This place is just so full of interesting things to see, things to do, I guess people to meet as well. And even though it is 4 o'clock and we started at 4:30 this morning, there's still a lot to see. We're not even done yet. One super crazy bus ride later, I've been dropped off in basically the middle of absolutely nowhere, just black sand everywhere. And you guys might be wondering, what the heck am I doing here then? It's because of that. If I'm not mistaken, that's a crashed US Navy airplane from, I think, even before the Second World War. As far as I'm aware, there are actually a few of these wrecks scattered around the island. And this one might just be the most famous because it's near Reykjavik, the capital. It's such a cool sight though, this silver wreck in the middle of this pitch black landscape with rolling rigid mountains in the background. Now because all the people have left, I can finally use this little guy. I've been getting some drone shots for the first time on this trip, and it is super exciting. This stuff's looking so cool with this barren landscape and the plane there on its lonesome. Still so excited. Now, among some of the more interesting cars that I still need to get used to are these absolute monstrosities behind me. Everything from Ford F-150s to, I guess, Transit vans. You even get the Mercedes versions as well. And you see these things coming on the road behind you, or in front of you even, and you get quite a fright because the roads here aren't very wide. And you can see that the wheel arch comes to my shoulders. This thing is so big. I need to walk back just to get it into shot. I can't even imagine what the fuel consumption must be on these guys. That is so hectic. They are massive. Yeah, this being Iceland and one of the coldest places on earth, I wasn't expecting every day to go smoothly and perfectly. And this day was a good example of that. It basically rained until now. And it's 10 o'clock at night now. So I thought I'd give it a shot and climb a little mountain here behind me. As you guys can see, I'm kind of high up already. But I think I'm going to call it quits while I'm ahead, because this part is nearly unclimbable. A few people just came down now and one guy nearly slipped twice. So I'm going to cut it here. But the view from up here is absolutely incredible. Just look at all the snow on the mountains there in the distance. We're going to be heading in that direction near the end of tomorrow. And I must say, I'm really looking forward to that. Even in summer, they've got permafrost on nearly every peak. And then just one last thing before we give this video its send-off. I actually want to show you guys that I cut off all my hair. It's probably one of the most stupid things I could have done before coming to a place this cold. I was planning on showing you guys earlier, but then I wore beanies and hats because, like I said, it's super cold. Yeah, I don't know. I was feeling like a change. I was bored about 2 weeks ago, and I thought, hey, what the heck? I'll probably go bald eventually sometime in my life. Why not give it a preview and see what it's going to look like? I'm not looking forward to it. And on that note, I think I'm going to end it here. This will only be, I guess, part 1 of 3 or 4 videos. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of Iceland. This place is everything and more than I thought it would be. This is one of the most incredible places I think I've ever seen, and probably will ever see. And if the past few days are anything to go by, I think the rest of this trip is going to be absolutely awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned a few things along with myself. I might not be the best tour guide. I think I'll stick to cars, but for now, we're gonna call it a day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please hit a like, comment down below what you think of Iceland so far, and I'll see all of you guys in the next few videos. Cheers.